I'm standing here with our newly appointed President and CEO, Anders Engdahl, and we'll talk about the Q3 results. But firstly, Anders, briefly, who are you and what's your background?
My name is Anders Engdahl. I'm 46 years old. I'm Swedish national. I'm married, have 2 children. I have a background in financial services. I spent about 15 years in various positions in banks mostly. I came to Lindorff in 2014 and I was responsible for the investment business at Lindorff prior to the merger, and then I was appointed CIO of the combined group in 2017. And since approximately 18 months, I've now been the CFO up until recently, of the recent change, where I'm now appointed CEO. So that's my background. I obviously have worked a lot in the last number of years, and when I do not work, I really enjoy horseback riding, which is my favorite hobby for me and my family.
Thank you. And we actually released the big picture of the results already on Sunday when the appointment of yourself was announced. But if you would conclude some of the highlights from this quarter, how would you summarize that?
We're very pleased with the third quarter results. We see a very strong stability of the business and the cash flows of the business. To highlight a little bit of the components of that result, we look at the recovery of the strategic market segment. The strategic market segment clearly was very impacted in the second quarter, and we see we're now been able to recoup some of the volumes that were lost in the second quarter. We also see the continuation of the trend on the PI side, where we saw the collection performance coming back strongly towards the end of the second quarter, and that trend has continued through the third quarter, and we've seen a clear normalization of collection levels on the PI side. And on the CMS side, we have seen also the continuation of the trend of weaker new case inflow that we saw also during the second quarter, continuing now into the third quarter, and that's clearly putting a little bit of a damper on the development on the CMS side. But I'm also pleased to see that we've continued to maintain very strong cost performance through this entire period, which has contributed to the increase on the margins we've seen on the CMS side. So overall, very good results. I'm very pleased with the stability of the business.
Yes, and 2020 has been a very special year, and COVID-19 has obviously affected many companies, including Intrum. How would you comment on the way the organization has managed it and the fact that the pandemic continues?
Well, first of all, I must say I'm very impressed with how the entire organization has handled the COVID pandemic. We had a very rapid response at the onset of the pandemic in March, and obviously the safety and security and health of our staff was the first and foremost priority, and also to ensure that we kept ongoing operations that will continue to serve and deliver to our clients and customers through this very challenging period. I think that we managed to maintain good delivery. I think we managed to really ensure the stability, resilience of the cash flow and the results, both in the second quarter now into the third quarter. So I'm very thoroughly impressed. But also I think that now as we're facing a more challenging outlook again on the epidemic trajectory, I must say I take comfort in the fact that we are well positioned, well trained. We have all the protocols in place. We're able to act very rapidly and change the operating mode if needed, as and when needed, in those places where the pandemic again puts more constraints on the way to operate. So very happy with that.
And one of the main priorities for Intrum going forward is to continue the work with aligning and harmonizing systems, processes, etc. And we've talked about One Intrum. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
One Intrum is the name of a program which we call the transformation program, which we have been working on now for some time to really lay out the journey ahead, the journey into the next phase of development for the company. And what that really means is we're going to focus a lot on aligning the way we work as a company across all our markets to ensure that we get alignment on processes. We're investing in a lot of money now into new technology to support that operating platform that we're now building. And we're looking to simplify and extract the value of operating across 24 markets in Europe. So that's really the essence of it, and I'm really looking forward to cover a lot more about this, how we intend to do this over the coming years at the Capital Markets Day that we will host on the 18th of November.
Super. Thank you very much, Anders.
Thank you.